To you, my beloved, my joy, my peace, my home, we've walked so many years together now that sometimes I lose track of where exactly it all began. Not because I've forgotten, quite the opposite, but because the years have layered themselves over each other so richly, so tightly, that it's hard to peel them back and see our starting point without seeing everything else we've built since. When I look back at the two of us then, I see how young we were, not just in age but in what we understood about ourselves and what love would truly demand of us. We didn't know it yet, but we were each incomplete in ways that only life and each other would slowly reveal. We weren't two halves looking for a missing piece. We were two people who hadn't yet explored all the hidden rooms inside ourselves, who hadn't uncovered the deep fears or fragile dreams we'd carried since long before we met, or the old wounds that still lay tender and unhealed, coming from two different, unique worlds. It was so easy then to believe that loving each other would be enough to fill in all those unfinished spaces, that finding you, finding us, would make me finally complete. But life doesn't work that way, and time has a way of peeling back the illusions that early romance so beautifully wraps around us. There came moments, so many really, when I had to see myself honestly, maybe for the first time. To admit that just because we loved each other didn't mean we were suddenly whole, that even standing next to you, even wrapped in all that early joy and passion, I was still someone with work to do on my own soul. There were also moments, and this is not easy to admit, when I didn't even know how to say I love you. Not because I didn't care for you, or didn't treasure being with you, but because I was afraid saying it might be a kind of lie. That maybe what I felt was only about me. My fear of being alone, my relief at having someone there, my comfort in not facing the world by myself. I wondered if telling you I love you would be genuine love or just my own small needs speaking, my own selfishness disguised. Even now, I can't promise that every day I understand my own heart perfectly. I can't promise that tomorrow I'll know exactly the right way to say it, but I can promise this. I am not here because I fear being alone, not because I simply want someone to share sunsets with, or to laugh at old stories, or to soothe memories that sometimes ache more for one of us than the other. Not even out of habit, seeing you every day, not because there's some essential emptiness in me, and you just happen to fill it. I am with you even though and because I know I am already whole, at least as whole as any human learns to be. Whole because of the work I've done, the hard truths I've faced, the lessons I've learned, many of them with you, and often because of you. And over this wholeness, I've found something even more extraordinary. Without realizing it, I've slowly woven parts of you into who I am. Little habits, small delights, ways of speaking, ways of reacting, new ways of seeing the world. They've built up over time, laid one upon the other, until I am no longer just myself, but something more. As if by loving you, by living alongside you, I've become not just a man, but a man and a half. Not because I was lacking, but because loving you added a dimension I could never have created alone. It's like standing together as two strong, whole people who've chosen, again and again, to pour parts of ourselves into each other, making us both more than we ever were. And there's something else, even more humbling. I've come to want to fly with you, not just to walk beside you, not just to share a roof or a name, but to rise as if you were made with the very wing I lack, as if God designed it this way on purpose for a man to soar beyond this world, needing not merely the wing of a partner or the touch of an angel, but your wing, your breath, your hands. Only you are more than any angel could be, because you are here in flesh and skin and memory, building a life out of ordinary days that somehow turns sacred simply because you are in them. So when I look at those pictures, even the ones with the horns you don't like, I see our story. Not darkness, not danger, just the quiet truth of what it is to love and to grow together. I see two people who started young, each carrying their own small horns, the subtle prides and defenses we used to keep from being hurt, the ways we tried to stay just a little untouchable. I see us slowly learning to take them off, one by one, offering them to each other, sometimes still hiding one behind our backs because we were scared. And then, over years of shared joys and failures, of forgiveness and discovery, I see us standing there with hands joined, nothing left hidden. No horns, just two flawed, open souls, finally learning how to hold each other without fear. And the last image, us older, resting side by side on a simple bench, watching our grandchildren, or maybe just reflecting on the people we once were, nostalgic and deeply grateful. That's not a sad ending to me. It's the fulfillment of everything we've quietly been building. It's the promise that after all this work, all this learning, all this patchwork of borrowed wisdom and painfully earned growth, we'll still be there, together, looking out at a world that feels softer because we made it through. It's knowing that even then, I'll still want to reach for your hand, still be thankful for how we didn't give up on each other, or on ourselves. So yes, my dear, this is how I belove you. Not just with the easy words that come quickly when life feels light, but with a love rooted in the long, slow, sometimes hard road we've traveled. A deep, steady conviction that sees how we started incomplete, how we grew, how we borrowed from the world and from each other, until we became something neither of us could ever have been alone. It's why I look forward to every year ahead. Because I want to see what else we'll discover, who else we might still become, what new feathers we might yet grow, all of it, always, with you.